Hey everyone, AJ here from Whole Latte Love, and today we're taking a look at the DeLonghi Dinamica with LatteCrema system. Now about a month ago I did a video of the older Dinamica in comparison with the Gaggia Cadorna Barista Plus. And today we got this new machine in, I'm really excited about it, so I want to give you an update video on the newer version. Starting up top, it is a bean to cut machine, so you take this bean hopper up here and you put whole beans in it. And there's a conical steel burr grinder inside the machine, so every time you press the button, no matter what drink you brew, it's going to take those whole beans, grind them fresh into your drink. And today, we are using the Carraro Tazzadoro beans. It's one of my new favorite coffees. I've been drinking it for the last month or two, and Mark and I actually just did a full video on the new Carraro line last week, so you can check out the video link to that in the description after this video if you want. But that's what I'm using in here today. In the hopper, you also have the option, if you want to use pre-ground, there is a bypass doser here. So let's say, for example, you wanted to do a decaf coffee, but you've got caffeinated beans in there. It comes with a little scoop. You just take a scoop of your pre-ground decaf, scoop it in there, it'll make a coffee from that. Inside the hopper, you've also got a grind size adjustment with 13 grind settings. And if we go up front now, this is one of the big improvements over the previous Dinamica, is this LCD screen. If you're familiar with the older model, everything was icon based, and it was touch buttons, touch icons, but no real words or menus to get you to know what you're looking at or what you're selecting. And this is much easier to use, much better. So I can go into my menus, into my settings, change all my settings in there. I can go into my drink menus and pick whatever drink I want out of that menu, which we'll go through a little more in a minute. There are also drink icons for 6 of the most popular drinks on here. You've got Espresso, the True Brew over ice, and the long coffee. And that True Brew over ice is something that's unique to DeLonghi machines. And it's their version of the iced coffee. So it's gonna have a longer pre-infusion, a higher dose, a lower temperature, and it's going to do a slower, longer extraction that you can take over ice cubes, because normally with a hot espresso over ice, it's just going to melt the ice and be a watered down drink. But with this, it'll really let you get a nice iced coffee out of that without being watered down. And below that, you've got your cappuccino, latte, and steamed milk, just a hot steamed or froth milk out of that. And that leads me to the next big improvement of this, which is what DeLonghi calls their LatteCrema system. And this is a carafe. You can store it in the fridge, keep your milk in it, just grab it when you're ready to go. On the top here, it has different settings for how much air and how much froth you want in your milk. So there's a dial where if I'm doing a latte and I just want a little bit of foam on top, I can keep it here. If I'm doing a cappuccino, I'll put more foam in it. And also settings for a quick clean, which again I'll show you in a minute when we brew some drinks. You also have the option on that same spout, it comes with a hot water tap that you just attach that and you can suddenly use hot water for Americanos or teas or anything like that. But the real highlight is the LatteCrema, so we'll keep that on there. If you go to the other side, this is your water reservoir. It's 61 ounces, so it's got a really good capacity. You don't have to go to the sink every 2 or 3 drinks to fill this up. It's gonna last a while before you have to refill it. And one thing I really like compared to a lot of manufacturers is it's clear, so you can see it. When it's in the machine, you can see your water level without having to open up a drawer, a side panel, and you know kind of where you're at. Going down from there, you've got your drip tray and dreg drawer here. So if you are cleaning into the drip tray, if you don't have a cup or if you spill or overflow or anything, that'll go into this. It's easy to just take to the sink and wash. This is your dreg drawer where your spent coffee pucks will go. So after you're done brewing, there's nothing in it now because it's clean, but after we're done brewing, there will be coffee pucks in here from our leftover grounds. And this will hold 14 pucks before you have to empty it. And again, you just take it to the trash, knock it out, and you're good to go. Easy cleanup. So let's brew some drinks. And we will start with an espresso. It's an espresso machine, so why not make an espresso? So you've got adjustable spouts here for that. I'm going to keep them all the way down because it's a small drink. And again, I had talked about the adjustable grind size in the hopper. I'm all the way at my finest setting right now, which is a good place to start if you're doing espresso. You can go a little coarser if you're doing longer coffees or things like that, but I'm at my finest, I'll keep it there. All I have to do is just press the espresso button and it will start grinding. And you can hear the grinder going right now. I have a microphone on so you can hear it, but it's actually pretty quiet compared to a lot of machines, which I find really nice because some of them are really loud and overpowering. In addition to the 13 grind settings, you have 4 temperature settings and 4 strength settings. 5 strength settings, actually. You can see that up here on the screen. There's 5 beans that represent your strength settings, and the default for the espresso is 3, but you can bump it up and adjust it. And what that'll do is it'll up your dose of how much coffee it's actually using. So here's my espresso. Again, you can change the volume of that. This defaults to, I think, 1.5 ounces, but you can go in and customize your drinks, and we'll actually do that for our next one. So if you want maybe 2 ounces or a little more, you can get that saved. So another really nice feature of this is what they call My Menu. And you've got all your drink list that's in your drink menu right here, but you've also right next to it got My Menu. So if I go in there, it'll list all of my drinks, my cappuccino plus, my espresso, my coffee, and this lets you customize to a user profile. So it'll let you choose your strength setting and choose your volume. So if I want to customize a coffee for this glass, I just put it in there. I'll make my grind just a little bit coarser. And if I go to choose my coffee, it'll ask me to program my aroma, which is your strength setting or your dose. So I'll go all the way up to 5 beans for that. And that starts grinding, and it'll grind the amount that you programmed for your dose there, and then it'll start dispensing. And as it's dispensing, you'll see a progress bar go across the screen. And that is letting you program live your volume of coffee that you're putting into the glass. So as that program, it says program coffee, as that progress bar goes across, eventually you'll see a little OK pop up in the middle, and anytime that pops up from there on, you can press OK, stop it, that'll store your amount for the next time. And if you look at the coffee in here, I mean, it looks incredible. It's going to taste great, of course, but if you look at that versus like a capsule machine or a Keurig or even pre-ground, it's a world of difference. So I'm getting pretty full. I'll press OK and grab my coffee, and I'm going to take a sip of this one. Ooh, it's hot, but it is good. And this will make hot drinks too. There are some people, I generally prefer my coffee drinks to be kind of in the medium range, what these machines call it, but some people like them super hot, and this machine will do it for you. So let's move on to the milk-based drinks, because again, this is the highlight of the machine, is the LatteCrema system. So I'm going to make a latte. I'm going to take my foam adjustment, turn it down to less foam, and I want to make a latte. I just put it under the spouts and press the latte button. And just like all the other drinks, you can customize the strength or the amount of this, and we'll probably kind of program this one on the fly here because these lattes tend to give you a lot of milk in the cup, and this cup isn't super big, so we may stop it in the middle here just so it doesn't overflow. You'll see that nice milk just kind of filling up the cup there with just a little layer of foam on top. And once that starts to get a little higher, let's say that I want that much milk. Just press stop, and it won't cancel the whole drink. It'll just cancel the milk portion, and it'll move on to the espresso, start grinding, and start dispensing that into there too. And you'll see as this starts coming in that it'll mix in nicely in there. It's not like if you make a latte macchiato, which this machine can also do, you'll get nice separation of layers of foam and then espresso and then hot milk. This will kind of make a more uniform drink because we set that foam to a lower level. So that's all mixing in nice to a nice texture, a nice color in there. And I've got my latte. So the last drink I want to make is one of my favorites on this machine, and it'll be one of the favorites of someone who likes a lot of espresso, likes a very, very strong drink. And what they call it is the My Cappuccino Plus. And if I go into my menu, there's My Cappuccino Plus right there. There's also somewhere down here is just My Cappuccino. And the difference is this: if it's My Cappuccino, it's going to do your desired amount of milk and then a shot of espresso on top. When it's My Cappuccino Plus, it'll do that milk, and then it'll put what DeLonghi puts or calls a doppio plus in there, or a double espresso plus, which is a much stronger, higher dose of beans in there, a higher dose of coffee, a longer pre-infusion, a slower extraction, and a greater volume. So it ends up being about 4 ounces by default. So that, again, will give you a much stronger drink. So if I put my cup under there, I'll turn my foam to the higher amount of foam, because it's a cappuccino. You want that nice cap of frothy foam up top. And we will press My Cappuccino Plus. So you'll see right away that strength setting has all 5 beans and a little plus symbol, meaning that it's dosing more than the maximum that you could set for like an espresso, for example. The milk coming out of this looks a little bit different than the latte did. It's definitely foamier and frothier, and you'll really see that highlighted once the espresso comes out. You'll have that thick layer of white right on top. I've previously programmed this one into this cup, so I don't need to do anything. I don't need to stop it early or really keep an eye on it. I could press this, walk away, and come back and know that I have a drink ready to go. And you hear the grinding. The grinding is going to go on a little bit longer with this drink because it is grinding more beans for that bigger dose. That longer pre-infusion. So we wait a few extra seconds, but it's worth it. And then once that starts coming out, it'll look noticeably darker than the latte did. And that nice cap of foam right on top. It's not as mixed in as the latte. You've got that nice separation. And my cappuccino is done. So before, when I ignored the clean option, I will show you that now. I've got a measuring cup around here. You could clean right into the drip tray, but this is just a little bit cleaner. So I'll just put a cup under there. And if I take that dial that controls the froth, if I take it all the way to the end, it says clean. That'll just do a rinse of your milk system and keep everything nice and clean. As you know, working with milk, you don't want it to be old and crusty and gross. So this is one of the easier systems to keep clean. After you're done with your last milk drink of the morning or whenever, you just flip it to that. It'll rinse for 10 or 15 seconds and stop automatically. So that is done. I'll take my LatteCrema system out. I'll go put it in the fridge, and I'm good to go. I've got all these nice drinks now. So that is the DeLonghi Dinamica with LatteCrema system. If you have any questions about this machine, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. And as always, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and come back for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.